My name is Cindy Fan. I'm Vice Provost for International Studies at UCLA. Where are the donuts? Just kidding.
Yes.
It's 9:30 California time, so I know lunch is in half an hour.
That's right. That's what I was told. Yes, yes.
I have two questions, and I should start by again thanking the panelists and the speakers. My first question has to do with again the audience for what we're talking about today, because I think we are preaching to the choir. You are preaching to the choir, because we are here because we care about global internationalization. But and several of us here talked about integrating international activities and engagement into the incentive and reward structure of the university. And I'm sure that your PNT document is very long. Our PNT document is already very long. And so how do we get attention? How do we really make it stick, right? So just an example. Several years ago, our academic personnel office, our vice chancellor, has managed to include diversity as something that PNT officers and department chairs should really care about and demonstrate in the dossiers. And I don't think that actually has really made too much of an impact on the outcomes of PNT cases. So that's just an example to tell me that including language alone is not going to do the work. So how do we make it clear, I guess, to our colleagues, especially those who are making decisions, chairs, deans, and so on and so forth, that internationalization is contributing in a significant way to the mission of a university. And I think there are two things, at least, that we need to kind of demonstrate. One is the practical side of it, but that's not enough. In other words, if everybody's doing it, we should be doing it, but that's really not enough. The second that I think might be more important is the intellectual significance of internationalization or international engagement. So I guess my question is, if you know of a simple way, like a paragraph, of actually saying why is it so important that universities have to internationalize, I think that would be very useful. And it would be nice if you can share that paragraph. The second question is specifically to Professor Narrett. I read parts of your book. I think it's called Global PhD, or it's about our PhD education and yeah, Professor Narrett. So thank you for that contribution. And also I saw the video of your speech to the geography conference. I think a year ago or 2 years ago. By the way, I'm a geographer. That's why I'm paying attention to that. You made a comment this morning about people of color in the sciences. I think that you think there should be more effort in terms of visibility and more numbers of people of color in the sciences. And I just want to ask if you might want to sort of kind of elaborate on that comment.
Yes, one way what we found, and that can be done through the graduate school or somewhere else out of the Office of International Affairs. And again, I must say, you can think of undergraduate, but I'm working on graduate education. And that is an introduction to US graduate education for international students and new graduate students. Now, what we found who comes is mainly student of color, and that introduction course goes across all fields, and international students. And this is fantastic, because for many students of color, not all, but also white, graduate school is a foreign country, as it is for international students. So then you can take in a course and they get credit, and we found, I should publish on that now, do an experiment, whether you have just 2 or 3 days orientation or have indeed a course. And it weighs very much better to have a whole class, a course on it, because every week they come back. And so in that, you go and explain the system in the US, and you have graduate student international from various countries. Then they explain how is their system in their country. You go on and talk about international students, and you always make them about and have a panel of international students. So then in your class, the international students talk about, are there international students in their country? So we learned, for example, now, and they had to do some homework, how China very, very much now wants to increase also international students coming to their country. How Taiwan, Korea, South Korea is increasing, although that's often only on English, not so much in other fields. So we're learning in that always about other countries. Then you take on what about discipline and interdisciplinarity. How is this dealt in the US, in other countries? How the advising and mentoring. And you will find and learn from your international student that this is a total different approach. I would say in the more Chinese, the advisor is like a parent. In the Latin American and Europe, the advisor is very much someone aloof, distance. So those are things then and go on in publishing, how to do academic writing. And that is writing with an edge, with an argument. Now, many also from Asian countries are not used to that, but also our own student of color who come from undergrad or white students, anyone, are not used to the academic writing with an argument, with an edge. So you do this and simultaneously educate them about other countries and what we have seen, and you go on, you do, topics which are relevant in graduate education. At the end, the most student of color who have never been outside said, wow, I think I really want to go also outside. And in the other country, they have similar issues as we have. So it's not so foreign. I think you can do a lot at home to internationalize and bring them and prepare them. And another way is have annually a symposium. It can be half a day, it doesn't cost much, which says whatever your institution, university, UCLA, students focus on the world. And that's everybody who does something in their research which is connected to the world, and have the students organize it. We did that. We had at the first round already 86 students signing up, and they're organized just like at a research. And it was international students and US students who do something internationally on an international topic, but who never met before. And so they get an experience in their own campus, a professional experience to do a talk, organizing a symposium which they can take away. And in the process, they get to know each other from other countries. So you can do things which cost practically nothing, cookie and lunch, on your own campus to internationalize. And the third thing, what we did was having an annual theme. And we had indeed the annual theme from the graduate school, and you can do it from your office, on internationalizing UCLA, whatever, undergraduate education, graduate education, and highlight the various things which go on, and have luncheon, and every luncheon talk, and something else is presenting, or someone else presenting. So, and you can include this with a launching of a book which is on the issue on your campus. So we can highlight this a lot more and have it as an ongoing theme.